The dark truth behind people who act innocent. Think about the last time someone hurt you, and then acted like they had no idea what they did, not because they were truly confused, not because they made a small mistake, but because the moment you reacted, they suddenly became innocent, their face changed, their voice became soft, their eyes looked confused, and somehow the person who hurt you became the person everyone felt sorry for. You were the one in pain, but they became the victim. That is the dark truth behind people who act innocent. Some people do not act innocent because they are innocent. They act innocent because innocence protects them from responsibility. It gives them a mask. It gives them an escape. It makes you look cruel for confronting them. And if you are not careful, you will spend years apologizing to people who knew exactly what they were doing. If this is your first time on The Hidden Hurts, subscribe right now and turn on the bell. This channel is about the pain people hide, the patterns people repeat, and the dark truths about human behavior that most people only understand after they have been hurt. Subscribe now, because if you have ever dealt with someone who hurt you, then acted confused when you reacted, this video is going to explain something you may have felt for a long time. Let's begin with the first truth. Fake innocence is not always weakness. Sometimes it is strategy. There are people who know how to hurt you without looking guilty. They know how to say the cruel things softly. They know how to disrespect you in a way that sounds harmless. They know how to push you again and again until you finally react. And the moment you react, they step back and say, "Why are you acting like this?" That sentence is powerful, because now the focus is not on what they did. The focus is on your reaction. They pushed, they provoked, they ignored your boundaries, they made small comments. They gave you cold energy, they made you feel unwanted. They knew exactly where to press. But when you finally speak, they act surprised. They say, "I didn't do anything. You misunderstood me. I was just trying to help. You always think badly about me." And suddenly, you are no longer explaining your pain. You are defending your reality. That is how fake innocence works. It makes you question what you already know. It makes you ask, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe they really didn't mean it. Maybe I am the problem. But deep down, you know. You know the difference between a mistake and a pattern. You know the difference between someone who accidentally hurts you and someone who keeps hurting you then hides behind confusion. A real innocent person feels bad when they hurt you. A fake innocent person feels offended that you noticed. That is the difference. A real innocent person says, "I didn't realize I hurt you. Tell me what happened." A fake innocent person says, "Wow, so now I'm the bad person?" See the difference? One response cares about your pain. The other response protects their image. And that is the second truth. People who act innocent often care more about how they look than what they did. They are not worried that they hurt you. They are worried that you might expose them. They are not afraid of losing your trust. They are afraid of losing their clean image, because their power depends on appearing harmless. They want to be seen as kind, soft, misunderstood, peaceful, the person who would never hurt anyone. But behind closed doors, the story is different. They make you feel small. They twist your words. They act cold, then deny it. They give you mixed signals, then call you confused. They hurt you privately, then act innocent publicly. And that is why dealing with them is so exhausting, because the world sees their mask. You see the pattern, and when you try to explain the pattern to someone else, it becomes difficult, because each individual moment sounds small. One comment, one look, one silence, one joke, one lie, one "I forgot," one "I didn't mean it." But you know it is not just one thing. It is the repetition. It is the timing. It is the way they act innocent every single time you try to hold them accountable. That is what breaks you. Type, "I saw the mask" in the comments if you have ever dealt with someone who acted innocent after hurting you, because many people watching this know exactly what that feels like. They know what it feels like to be hurt by someone who everyone else thinks is harmless. They know what it feels like to look angry while the other person looks calm. They know what it feels like to become the villain simply because they finally told the truth. Now let's go deeper. Fake innocence is powerful because it uses your kindness against you. If you are a good person, you do not want to accuse someone unfairly. You do not want to think the worst. You do not want to hurt someone who might genuinely be confused. So you give them the benefit of the doubt. Once, twice, 10 times. You keep saying, maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they don't understand. Maybe I should explain it better. But here is the painful truth. Some people do understand. They just do not want accountability. And the more you explain, the more power they gain. Because while you are explaining, they are studying you. They are learning which words make you soften. They are learning how much guilt you can carry. They are learning how quickly you doubt yourself. They are learning that if they look innocent enough, you will start defending them from your own instincts. That is dangerous, because fake innocence does not only hide the truth from others, it can hide the truth from you. You start ignoring your own feelings. You start trusting their face more than your own memory. You start thinking your pain needs evidence before it is allowed to be real, but your body knows. Your body knows when someone is unsafe, that tight feeling in your chest, that nervousness before talking to them, that fear of saying the wrong thing, that heaviness after every conversation. That is not random. That is your inner self saying, something is not honest here. Like this video right now, if you have ever felt someone's energy was wrong, even when their words sounded innocent, because this is where emotional intelligence begins. Not in believing every word people say, but in watching the pattern between their words and their behavior. Now listen carefully. A person who acts innocent all the time often has one hidden skill. They know how to make your reaction look bigger than their behavior. They do something quietly. You react loudly. And now everyone sees your reaction. Not the quiet disrespect that created it. They make small cuts. You finally bleed. And then they point at the blood and say, look how dramatic you are. This is one of the oldest tricks in human behavior. Provoke someone privately. Judge them publicly. Push them slowly. Then act shocked when they finally push back. And if you are not aware, you will fall into the trap. You will start explaining your tone, apologizing for your anger, defending your emotions. And while you are doing that, the original issue disappears. The thing they did is forgotten. Now the conversation is about how you reacted. That is why some people act innocent, because innocence gives them control over the story. They do not need to prove they are right. They only need to make you look unstable. And once you look unstable, people stop listening to your pain. This is why self-control becomes your protection. Not because you should tolerate disrespect, not because you should stay silent forever, but because some people are waiting for your emotional reaction so they can use it as evidence against you. They want your anger. They want your long messages. They want your breakdown. They want your desperate explanation, because your reaction gives them a way to escape responsibility. So sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause, say less, watch more. Do not give them the performance they are trying to create. Let the pattern speak. Because patterns do not need shouting. They reveal themselves over time. Now let's talk about the most confusing part. Some people who act innocent can also be very kind sometimes. That is what makes it hard. They are not cruel every moment. They may help you. They may smile. They may say sweet things. They may act caring after hurting you. And that mixture confuses your mind. You think, how can someone be bad if they also do good things? But the truth is, people are not always one thing. A person can be generous and still manipulative, soft-spoken and still dishonest, helpful and still controlling, polite and still unsafe. This is why you cannot judge people only by their best moments. You must judge the pattern. How do they act when you confront them? How do they respond when you set a boundary? How do they behave when you stop giving them what they want? How do they treat your pain when it costs them comfort? That is where their character appears. Anyone can be kind when everything is going their way, but character is revealed when accountability enters the room. A mature person can say, I understand why you feel that way. An immature or manipulative person says, so now I'm the problem? That one sentence can tell you everything, because they are not trying to understand. They are trying to make you feel guilty for speaking, and if you feel guilty every time you bring up your pain, you are probably not in a safe emotional space. Share this video with someone who keeps blaming themselves for reacting to someone else's repeated behavior. Sometimes people do not need a long lecture. They need one clear truth, and maybe this video can give them that truth. Now here is the dark lesson. Fake innocence often works because most people confuse calmness with goodness. The calm person looks innocent. The emotional person looks guilty. But calm does not always mean kind, and emotional does not always mean wrong. Some people remain calm because they already planned the situation. Some people remain calm because they do not care how much they hurt you. Some people remain calm because your pain does not disturb them. And some people stay calm because they know your reaction will make you look worse. So do not be fooled by a calm face. Look at the behavior. A person can speak softly while destroying your peace. A person can smile while lying. A person can look innocent while knowing exactly what they did. That is why wisdom means looking beyond appearances. Not everyone who looks harmless is safe. Not everyone who says, "I didn't mean it," is telling the truth. Not everyone who acts confused is confused. Sometimes confusion is a costume. Sometimes innocence is a mask. Sometimes the person saying, "I don't understand what I did," understands perfectly. They just do not like consequences. So what do you do with people like this? You stop trying to prove what they already know. You stop begging them to admit the truth. You stop explaining the same wound to the same person. You stop giving unlimited access to someone who turns accountability into theater. Instead, you observe. You create distance. You protect your peace. You set boundaries without needing their agreement. Because boundaries are not about convincing someone. Boundaries are about deciding what you will no longer participate in. You can say, "I am not arguing about what I felt. I am not explaining this again. I have already told you what hurt me. I will watch your behavior now." And then you step back. Because time exposes fake innocence. At first they may act hurt. They may say you changed. They may say you are cold. They may say you are unfair, but watch closely. If they truly care, they will reflect. If they only wanted control, they will become angry that the mask stopped working. That is when you will know. The final truth is simple. Innocence is not proven by a soft voice. It is proven by honest behavior. Innocence is not proven by confusion. It is proven by accountability. Innocence is not proven by how someone looks when confronted. It is proven by what they do after they learn they hurt you. A real innocent person wants clarity. A fake innocent person wants escape. A real innocent person cares about impact. A fake innocent person protects image. A real innocent person changes. A fake innocent person repeats the pattern and acts surprised every time. So the next time someone hurts you and then acts innocent, do not only listen to their words. Look at the pattern. Look at the timing. Look at how many times this has happened. Look at what happens when you stop explaining and start observing. Because the dark truth behind people who act innocent is this. Some of them are not confused about what they did. They are counting on your confusion to get away with it. And once you understand that, you stop questioning your reality. You stop apologizing for noticing. You stop giving your peace to people who only respect you when you stay silent. Comment, "I saw the mask," if you have ever dealt with someone who acted innocent after hurting you. Like this video if it gave you clarity about someone in your life. And subscribe to The Hidden Hurts for more videos about dark psychology, human behavior, self-respect, emotional intelligence, hidden motives, betrayal, toxic patterns, and the painful truths people only understand after they finally wake up. Remember this before you go. A person who is truly innocent will care that you are hurt. A person wearing innocence as a mask will only care that you noticed.